Hi, welcome back. As an educator, it's possible to create a list specifically for one student, what we call a personal word list, or create lists which all of your students could use, which we call custom word lists. This module is going to show you how to create personal word lists, and it's also going to talk about some of the reasons why you might want to do this. As your students go through the course, they will automatically get extra reinforcement for words they're struggling with. After every 4 units, StepsWeb analyses each student's errors and creates an individualised reinforcement unit, including the online activities for that list and any printables you may choose to use. However, there are times when you want your student to get extra practice with words from a different source. This might include words they've spelt incorrectly in their written work in class. So creating a personal word list can be particularly useful. First, we're going to go into Manage Students and find our student. We're going to use Michael. Let's imagine that I've noticed that there are some words in his written work that he's struggling with, but I also want to find some of the errors on StepsWeb. To do that, I click on Logs. And I want to look further back than 2 weeks, so I'll click on 4 weeks. Let's click on the first few words. Right, I can see that he's struggling with the words mountain and volcano. I can also see that he's having difficulty with the drops activity. This is something that I'd tackle by using the student simulator to teach him strategies. But for now, let's find some more words he's having difficulty with. Here we can see that he's having difficulty with some of the EI words. I'm making a note of those so that I can use them for our list. So this gives me plenty of words to start working with. I close the log section and this time I click on Wordlists. Now this student already has 3 previous personal lists, so I just click on Add Word List and add the name of the next one. Now all I need to do is click on each word space and enter the words we want. I can choose here which sentence I want. And I've also noticed a few words in his written work which he needs to practice, so we'll add those too. And as you can see here, when I've clicked on that word, I can see any sentence, any definition that there is there, and in some cases, a picture as well. Now, we can imagine our student has been doing something to do with animals, but when we entered polar bear, there was no word in there. So now what I can do is I can create my own sentence. I now click Save, and then it gives me an opportunity to record that sentence. It shows me a chunk, and I click the record button and say only the chunk that I can see. We saw a Then we go to the next one. Polar bear. At the zoo. The reason that it gives us this in chunks is because of the close exercises, which happen online. So you've seen here how quick and easy it is to create a list for your students, even if you actually have to create a sentence and record a word yourself. By the way, we've added the word polar bear. If we had a handy image, we could add that. So now what we'll do is go back and we're going to assign this list to Michael. I go to assigned work. He's got several things that he's been working on. But I click add assigned work, add item. We'll find this in his word lists. We click on personal word lists and here's the list we've just created. Again, I can see all of the activities that I can include. I could switch off any ones I didn't want him to do. I can view the word list again with all of the sentences. I can view any pictures. And I can view and print any of the printable reinforcement for that list I've just created. So you can see here how easy it is to create and assign an individual list to students.